do this. Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, I want to give you some tips and tricks about everything today. This is going to be a mishmash of all kinds of stuff. And it's stuff that, yes, I've spoken about in previous videos, but I kind of like, I've done this for 3.5 years and I just want to, I've been dying to do this video. Like, I've been doing some really, really serious videos in the past few weeks, and I just want to do something fun. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you is, your incense, okay? This will give you an idea of what this video is going to be like. Your incense. Now, how many of you use incense? I do. Okay, I can see you, Shirley, at the back. You're putting your hand up. So, you light your incense, okay? What do you light your incense with? A lighter. No, do not light your incense with a lighter, okay? It's kind of like, you shouldn't be doing that because it's kind of like almost disrespectful to your gods, your beliefs. Okay, don't light your incense. It's with a lighter. There are better ways to light it. Okay, light it with a match. All right. Always try to light your incense with a match, or light your incense in a candle. So you light the candle. I don't care if you light your candle with a cigarette lighter. Who cares about that? It's just a candle. Okay. Even if you're using your candle for magic, you can still light it with a cigarette lighter because that's not kind of intention. Okay, but use the candle, the lit candle, to light your incense with. It is more respectable, it's more respectful towards your gods or goddesses or whoever you pray to, all right? Moving swiftly on, that candle I was talking about. Now, you've got the lit candle, you've done your incense, you've popped your incense into your incense holder. The candle, you don't let that candle burn. Let's say it's a long candle like this, okay? You're not going to let that candle burn right down unless you're doing candle magic or something like that. But generally, if we have our altar, we light our candles and we do our prayers, we are not going to let that candle burn right down. It'll take hours, all right? So if you want to put your candle out, how do you do it? Oh my gosh, don't ever blow your candles out. What terrible, terrible luck. I actually get a headache just thinking about it. Okay, do not blow your candles out. Again, it is hugely disrespectful. God, I wonder if I'm ever going to get this right. Bear with me. It's hugely disrespectful to your gods and goddesses and the universe in general and all the energies out there. You take a candle snuffer. Do you know what that is? It's like a little thing looks like a bell on the end of a stick, and you snuff your candle out with it. You can use anything. Upstairs I use like a funny it's actually a little incense holder for doing arti, okay? But I use that because one side is like a little, I don't know, like a little bell thing, and you can just push your candle light down. What you can also do is a little bit of spit and snuff your candle out with your fingers. It's not going to burn you, I promise. Put some spit on your fingers and snuff your candle out. It's not gonna burn you, all right? It's more respectful, okay, than just going poof, all right? Also, you don't want to like spit saliva across your altar when you are actually like extinguishing candles. Slightly longer than just blowing it out, but it's kind of like part of the awareness, okay? So moving on from that, your altar cloth, okay? I've seen the most beautiful altar cloths, hand quilted, hand stitched. People have, what's that stuff? Crocheted. People have got the most beautiful linen, sheets of linen over it, that anglaise stuff. Okay, I think it's beautiful, but you don't have to have that, all right? Nobody's forcing you to. I don't have that. I have a plain, well, I've changed it now, but I used to have a plain wooden table, okay? That was my altar, and I had no cloths, no frilly bits. If you want to have that, fantastic, but remember, you don't have to. You can simply have plain wooden altar. You don't have to have all the, excuse the pun, bells and whistles. You can have something very simple and very plain and very small, okay? So that's the other thing I wanted to tell you about. Now, your books, okay? I told you it's going to be a mixed bag. Your books, do not leave them in the sun. You can leave your crystals in the sun, certain most crystals can be left in the sun for charging, but please don't leave your books in the sun. And for God's sake, do not stack your books one on each other. It's going to damage your books, okay? And the top book is going to get sun fade. It's going to fade in the sun. So don't do that. Don't leave your books in the sun. It ages them terribly and it fades them, all right? And you end up either with a faded cover or the top of the book goes that yellow color. It's revolting. All right. The other thing you must never do is certain crystals, you don't ever put them in water, all right? They will melt. Does that sound really weird? They will disintegrate. One of the famous ones that you never ever put into water is selenite, okay? It will literally just melt like salt crystals, okay, and you can't use it, it's gone, all right? Don't do that. I would recommend that you charge your crystals either by burying them in the ground, which is really cool. You can leave them outdoors, especially on a full moon. You can cleanse them with an energy, just intentional energies. It's so much better than bombing them into a thing of water or putting them into a running brook or stream, unless you know your crystals really, really well. A thing you must never do is put your crystal on top of your books in the sunlight, okay? Again, depending on what crystal it is, you can actually start a fire. Now, this is known, everybody knows you don't ever put your crystal globe, your scrying globe, okay, don't ever leave that in the sun, because what can happen is the light can refract and it can actually cause a really intense beam of heat and it will set something on fire. Okay, so keep that in the shade or put it in a cupboard when you're not using it, or put it somewhere where it's not in the direct sunlight. There is a joke about that, which I don't have time to tell you, but go and look it up. It's a joke about this thing. And yeah, just be very, very careful with crystals and globes, glass globes and that sort of thing that you would use on your altar. The other thing I can tell you about is those little triangles. You know, the little triangles of glass that you can use to charge stuff. Don't leave them in the sun. They will refract and they will cause, the light is even more intense than a globe. Okay, so be careful. Now, when you are out in the garden or out in the park, or if you have a little patch of lawn, remember this. You can stand barefoot on that beautiful dewy grass, that beautiful dewy grass, and you can anchor yourself and you can ground yourself on that earth. Earth is the best thing to use to ground yourself, to grow those roots and become one with Gaia. You can use that to ground yourself and just to be one. Another really good way of doing this is go and hug a tree. Does that sound trite? It's not. Go and hug a tree. If you've got trees anywhere near you, just go and give one a little squeeze. The trees love it. Mother Earth loves it, and I guarantee you, you will love it as well, because it does center you, ground you, and it gives you that oneness, that feeling of oneness with nature, Mother Nature, the earth. Okay, you can do that. Another thing I want to tell you, there's a plant called the Tulsi plant, and it's a plant that is used in a lot of Hinduism. There's a whole story behind it, as there is in most Hindu things. And if you keep a Tulsi plant in your home or plant one in your garden, they generally kept in pots. It brings you luck, and it encourages happiness, luck, positive energy to enter your home or your living space. So especially for people who live in apartments, who live in smaller areas, a Tulsi plant, okay, it's some kind of basil. I think it's a basil plant. But if you go to a place, go to a nursery and you ask them for a Tulsi plant, they will know what you're talking about, and it is amazing to keep in your living space. It brings so much positive energy. The only thing is you have to water it every day with a little bit of water. Just take a little tiny bit of water, even if it's just sort of 30 mils, shot glass. Okay, I know you, Muriel, you know shot glasses really well. Okay, use your shot glass, give it some water every day, and it will be a happy, healthy plant that will encourage positivity towards you. Have you learned something out of that? Did you enjoy that? Let me know below, and let me know some other tips and tricks that you use or you've heard about or you know about that will bring positivity, light, and will please your gods. Let me know down below. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you on the flip side.